The speculation is over. We can finally build and spec the BMW iX. So put the kids to bed, let the dog out, and put your phone on airplane mode because we're gonna break down every package, option, color, and material so we can build the perfect iX. Welcome back to Gearbox Pizza, your one-stop shop for just above average insight and often misguided and biased opinions on the ever-changing crazy world of cars. And on that note, do me a favor and please consider tossing us a sub if you would be so kind. Look, much love and thank you for even considering. All right, before we get all into it, a few things worth discussing if you may not be super familiar with the obscure world of electric German sport utility vehicles. So this beast of a grill machine is BMW's first purpose-built electric SUV. It's got some get up and go also thanks to its 516 horsepower. That comes from a pair of electric motors, one on each axle, giving it that all-wheel drive. And all this power will get this box of electrons to 60 miles an hour in a cool 4.4 seconds. Range-wise, we're looking at a plenty good enough 300 miles, so that's cool. Size-wise, this is very similar to the size of the X6. So look, not too big, but definitely not too small. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's get focused. Let's get a little pumped because we're about to start building one of these. Unlike the i4, which has two trims to choose from, here it's just the one version, the xDrive 50. So right away you can see that this thing isn't cheap. I mean, like not cheap at all. Starting price is just shy of 85 grand and boy does it get more expensive from here. First things first though, we have to choose a design. Base is the Shadowline trim, and for an extra 300, you can step up to the signature blue design, which is basically just some blue accent pieces on the exterior. I mean, I think it's probably better than the Shadowline trim if you ask me, but then there's this sports design as an option for 2,800 bucks. So what do you get for all that hard-earned cheddar? Well, you get these bigger wheels, 21s in fact, and they look pretty good. You also get some more aggressive bodywork along with this dark glass over the taillights. Look, all in all, I kind of think it's a no-brainer here as this really does improve the look from the outside. All right, it is time to pick some paint. So good news and bad news here. The good news is that most of your paint options come as a no-cost option, and the bad news, well, I don't know, I'm not exactly loving these paint options. I mean, I guess they're fine, but there really doesn't seem to be like that signature must-have color. Now, there are a few special colors, the Storm Bay Metallic and the Venturin Red Metallic, if that's how you say it. I mean, those are both nice, but they're gonna cost you an extra 1,950 bucks. And again, not like in love with any of these, but I think the Storm Bay is kind of gonna be the winner for now. All right, moving on, let's check out our wheel options. So since we already stepped it up to the 21s when we chose that design style back in the beginning, so we're not even gonna look at the 20s. I mean, we can swap the standard wheels for black ones, which I'm kind of into, but there's also these 22s and I'm really digging them. I don't know, they kind of just feel right for this. But keep in mind, these are gonna add an extra 950 bucks and they're only available with performance rubber. So to you fellas up north, if you go with these, I don't know, maybe pick up a set of all season tires to swap to in the winter. Okay, so let's take a look at the inside. And look, this is really where the iX shines. I mean, it's pretty great in there. And there's some really interesting options to look at also. You've got 3 no-cost synthetic options, which are all fine. Then there's this cloth, microfiber, and wool option that I think is actually really cool. But if you really want to let this interior sing, then you gotta look at this upgraded perforated leather options. I mean, specifically this Castanau chestnut. I have no idea if I'm even close to saying that right, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, it's pretty great. Next up, we've got the trim, and you like titanium bronze? I mean, I hope so, because that's what you're getting. And look, to be fair, I actually think it looks pretty great, and I'd probably stick with it even if we had some other options here. All right, moving on, let's take a look at the options and packages. And look, just a heads up, we're not gonna be shy with the credit card here, as we'll be speccing this thing up as if we have no regard for money whatsoever. Anyhow, we've got a couple of feature packages to check out first. So there's a bunch of options that are shared between the two. The convenience pack is 2,300 and the premium pack is 4 grand, but you can't have them both. In that premium pack, you get a bunch of tech like this augmented reality for the nav system. You can control things like the stereo using these gestures. There's this camera system on the inside that you can monitor from an app. There's this iconic sounds thing, which is a little bit bizarre. I mean, I guess it's almost like a soundtrack to your driving style, which I guess it might be cool. Yeah, I don't know. You can turn your iX into a 5G hotspot. Probably great for kids in the back, iPads, road trip, that sort of thing. And look, there's also these multifunctional seats, and then you get some parking and camera tech. Then there's the dynamic handling package, which is standard for the time being, which is pretty interesting. I mean, it looks like if you order after February of 2022, you'll be able to skip it, but for now, you're just gonna be handling like a boss, and that's all there is to it. Lastly, we got this luxury package, and like, this one's pretty simple. It comes with soft close automatic doors and some fancy glass controls with that real wood nut on the center console. I mean, it might be a little frivolous, but look, hey, it's been a rough year and you're worth it. With the packages now out of the way, we've got the rest of the a la carte options to take a look at. So there's just a handful to check out, but there's some really nice stuff here. I mean, you can get some autonomous driving safety options. That's not all that exciting, but hey, it's there if you want it. There's ventilated seats up front for $500 and the full radiant heating package for $950. You can also step up to those crazy bright LED laser lights for $1,000. And then there's the Bowers & Wilkins stereo for a cool $3,400. Last but not least is that BMW individual titanium bronze option for $500. I'm surprised. I actually kind of really dig this. I mean, it adds this nice line just running just right on the windows. It just looks pretty cool. Okay, so we're looking at a grand total north of $100,000, which is a ton of money. But keep in mind that the one we built here is just like completely loaded with all the fixings, and you'll still be able to get something like super nice for, I don't know, quite a bit less, I think. So time will tell if this will ultimately be a success for BMW, but if you're looking for a luxurious EV and you got plenty of cash, I think you can do a lot worse. I mean, good luck finding a cooler interior.